Hello, everyone. Hi, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you guys are listening from. I hope everyone is doing well. We're going to talk about some Love and Marriage Huntsville tea. We're also going to talk about Karen, Hugo, um, and a lot more, to be honest. So much. Maybe let's start with the Love and Marriage Huntsville tea, because I know you lot like some Love and Marriage Huntsville tea. So Tommy is having some raspberry flavored tea, and it tastes so good. Okay, come through with the flavor. I guess today is all about the flavors, honey. Okay, so you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a picture of Marsau that came out recently where he looks very chimey with a beautiful young lady. And so that picture has sort of been going all around and just been out in these streets and all. So what it seems like is so wait one sorry. So what it seems like is people are now saying like Tisha has been missing from certain events since then. And I wanted us to like talk about it. So I will share something to you. I will share something with you guys in a second. Let's just catch up on the chat. I haven't seen it, but I'd love to know what's going on with them. There's a lot of mess on Instagram. Don't worry, I will play some clips. You will see it. But there, I feel like that is probably the biggest thing I really want to talk about today because yeah, a lot is definitely happening with the Braxtons on the socials. I even think like we need to even review our titles also to make sure that we're putting something about the Braxtons because the people may want to see the Braxtons because a lot is going on with these people, child. Hey Bashan, good evening. How are you? How is everything going? It's always nice to see you in the chat. Thanks for joining tonight. Child, not the Love and Marriage Huntsville Cheaters Association up again. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. So let me see if I can get the picture up of this gorge, beautiful lady. I'm not sure I can get it up in the thing because I hadn't planned to show it before. But for those of you who may not know, there's a picture that has been going around of Marsau with a woman. Now, from what we can see, it is quite dark, but it does look like Marsau. But let me just put that banner up just in case. It's all alleged, okay? So, but it definitely is looking like Marsau. You can't miss that face. There's a part of the picture, there's one side of the picture where you can really see his face. So that is definitely showing. Yeah. And you can see that he has a slight smile on his face. And then she is also smiling. And then there's another point where it looks like his his hand is on her shoulder a little bit. And it's almost like both looking straight into or looking straight at each other, right? So let's just say it ain't looking good, right? And so I feel like when this when this came up, a lot of people were like, "Ooh, what's happening?" Maso has been exposed, and maybe that is, who knows, right? But what we do know is Miss Wanda, if I'm not mistaken, came out and tried to say like she doesn't believe there's anything going on, blah blah blah. As usual, we're not surprised. That's what a mother-in-law would do. At least most mother-in-laws will definitely be caping for their son-in-laws. I would assume that that is pretty standard. Um, but I guess where things seem to be a little bit interesting now is let me show y'all this. Here is the Halloween event that the people did over at Black. Let me show y'all. All right. So you see all these people at Black. You can see Ken and Trish. I don't know who this lady is. Well, guess who we can't see? That definitely ain't Tisha. Okay, so if you look through all of these pictures, one person seems to not be in any of the pictures. I don't see Tisha in sight. Not one picture of Tisha, which is very, very weird because I would have expected at least one picture of Tisha. So I don't see Tisha in there. I don't see other people. Of course, I don't see Miss Nell in there, which I can't say I'm surprised because Nell and Tisha have a very rocky history. So I'm not surprised that we don't see Nell in any of the pictures. Nonetheless, it's still a little bit like, okay, what is going there? What's going on over there at Huntsville? What is going on? Like, we need the tea. What is going on? Is 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 there issues in paradise? Is there trouble in paradise between Marsau and Tisha? These are the questions I want to know because it's like, what is happening over there in Huntsville? Has something happened? Is this like, should we be concerned? Or is this like a way for them to get a lot of people talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville? Because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of, especially things with like Marceau as well, I think they know how to play into the social media hype. These Love and Marriage Huntsville people, especially Marceau, I feel like they know how to play on and they know what the social media streets are interested in. And I know Marceau is not stupid, and Marceau probably feels like people already think he's cheating. Maybe he should play into it. Maybe that's going to bring the people to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville because they want the viewership to go up. So I wonder if that is what it is about. And it's just a way for, yes, if Tisha is missing, that will cause some like ruckus, that will cause people like us talking about it. And maybe that is all it is about. So I don't know what you lot think, but I think it's definitely moving a little bit like something is fishy. Is there really trouble in paradise? Is this lady and Marceau, do they have something going on? I would hope that Marceau is not going to all of a sudden F up after years of sort of allegedly stepping out without any proof. Marceau is one of the people that have been accused of cheating so many times, but there has never been a proof. So for me, I would be quite surprised if truly he fell into their hands and now he's being publicly exposed and this is actually true. So I don't know. But you lot tell me, let me know if you guys feel like it's all a lie, or if you guys feel like there's actually trouble in paradise between Tisha and Maso. Let us know in the chat. Tommy says, how come Destiny is not there? Destiny has been missing from everything, honey. Destiny, I don't know if Destiny is working a full-time job somewhere, but Destiny is not, by the way, not that there's anything wrong with working a full-time job, just FYI, but Destiny has been so hard to reach lately. If you watch the earlier episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville or this season, you notice that she wasn't in a lot of scenes, and she was missing quite she was missing even cast or group events, right? Which then makes me feel like she has other commitments. And the only other commitment I can think of that can possibly take somebody away from a check is a better check, in my opinion, or some sort of family emergency. But I don't think any family emergency will continue to take you away from work if it's not something where you can literally just be like, oh, guys, I'm taking a break. This happened with my family, and take a step back. But it feels like she's constantly being found wanting, not showing up to certain things. Something is definitely going on. Rasputia Jr. ain't allowed out. Stay at home like a good wife. Oh, Okay. Her perfect marriage after mocking Mel is falling apart. It absolutely is. I think it's very obvious that I don't think the marriage has ever been perfect. I think she has just gotten away with pretending that it was. And the only person she was lying to was herself, because nobody ever outside looking in was thinking, oh, I want to tailor my marriage right, right after Tisha and Marsau's marriage. Remember when she wanted to do what was it, a vow renewal? And Marsau was not here for it. Marsau did not want a vow renewal. Marsau was adamant that he did not want to do it. I don't get the impression that that is someone that loves you and wants to be with you. Because there is no way, if a man wants to be with you, he would not be jumping at the thought of a vow renewal, or at least be happy at the thought of a vow renewal. But the fact that that man did not look like he did not look impressed in the slightest, he did not want the vow renewal, should tell you everything that you need to know. So I don't know. Maybe she's embarrassed. Maybe she feels like the picture has gone out now. She can't continue to pretend and lie and act like she never experienced such in her life and she does not know what the people are talking about. I guess the truth is, there's only so long that you can lie for and pretend before the truth will eventually come out. And I do wonder whether now is the time for the truth to come out, and now everyone is finally seeing allegedly what is going on. Tommy says, I think Tisha and Marsau might be going through it at home. Yeah. I feel like there is a huge chance that that is really what is going on, because I think Tisha does not mind him doing whatever he is doing. This is just my personal belief. I don't feel like Tisha minds him doing whatever he's doing as long as he does not bring it to a place that is public. She does not want to have to publicly deal with the embarrassment of whatever it is that he's doing. And so I personally feel like if he was doing it quietly, she would not care. She would not mind. She is not bothered about it. But the moment there is some proof, like a picture, something that she can't deny, it's like there's only so much you can say, right? You can say, oh, yes, this is not this, and this is not how that, he had never done this. But if we see a picture, then we can see, wow, we don't believe you, right? I feel like most of us don't really believe her anyway. But at the same time, I feel like it's worse when we can see a picture. It's worse when we can have something that we can go back to and be like, okay, yes. And I think that's where Tisha, if truly there's something going on with that girl and Marsau, I think that is where Tisha is. Tisha is probably soaking it all in and thinking, how am I going to deny this? How am I going to act like this ain't the truth? How can I salvage this? Because people already think we're lying anyway. And now we have to pretend and form for the camera like everything is all good. So I think it will be very interesting to see whether we see this play out on the new season. It says, didn't he go to Africa for some him time? He sure did. And there has been a bunch of rumors about what the heck he was doing in Africa anyway. So we do not know what he was doing in Africa. All we know was he did not take his wife. That is the one thing I can say that we know that he did do. He did not take his wife. He was like, well, I'm not taking her. I am going to Africa to do whatever I want to do. Who knows what he was doing in Africa? He could have been a great husband, in quotation marks, or he could have been out in these streets in Africa. I don't even know where in Africa he was meant to have gone to, because I hate referring to just saying Africa, 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 because I'm like, where in Africa? Where was he and what was he doing? That's what I would want to know. So let's move on to Andy Cohen. Okay. So you all know Andy loves him some Wendy. Loves, loves him some Wendy. And I think people need to realize that Andy is familiar with, Andy's aware of people suing and all that kind of stuff. Andy's also aware of what the people on the social media are always saying about workplace and all these different things. So I don't think Andy is going to fall into the trap of being out here speaking too much. I think he probably has good a good team, a publicist who would be out here saying, "Yo, don't say that." Right? I personally feel, I really believe that Andy has a team that are out here being like, okay, this is how you need to answer these questions. So I don't think we should be shocked when we listen to the way Andy is navigating questions that are being asked about Wendy. So let me share this.
From Potomac faked her home invasion.
So, sorry, I got ice in my mouth. They really went ham with the ice. Okay. So this person asked, Andy, do you think Wendy faked her home invasion? And it's like, yo, how do you ask someone's boss if they think that their employee faked a home invasion? It's like, what do you expect the man to say? Of course, he's going to have to give a politically correct answer. And all these like asking people's bosses and asking him, like, people have asked Wendy, he as I've asked Andy in different ways what he thought. So I'm like, having another sit down where you're asking Andy is like, what do you expect him to say? Anyways, let's listen to what he has to say. Okay, so I think the link has been sent. Tommy, could you please check the link that's been sent in the DM?
You know what? I love Wendy from Potomac, and I am really very strongly hoping that this doesn't pan out to be anything. I think
Right. So yeah, I think I'm not surprised that Andy's like, he's hoping for positive vibes. Of course, he knows, he probably has the same sentiments that we do about what we think it is, but of course, he's not going to be out here saying all of that. He has to also protect himself. The last thing he wants to do is be getting sued or somebody now saying, oh, workplace harassment or something like that. He just has to keep it cute.
she's been a great role model, and she's really led with her education and her family values. And so, I don't know anything about the case, but except that I was caught totally off guard by that.
Dude. Do you think Wendy from Potomac faked her home invasion?
You know what? I love Wendy from Potomac, and I am really very strongly hoping that this doesn't pan out to be anything. I think she's been a great role model, and she's really led with her education and her family values. And so, I don't know anything about the case, but except that I was caught totally off guard by that.
Dude. Do you think Wendy from Potomac?
Yeah, I feel like that's the best that we can get from Andy, to be honest. I don't think that Andy is really going to necessarily like be out here breaking it down and being like, "Oh, I don't really believe that for a second, to be completely honest. So of course, I feel like Andy kept it as cute as you would expect your boss to keep it if you said something, to be honest. I feel like, yeah, that's where I stand with it. Bajan says Dusty's probably broke. What happened to our new office that was in the last season of the season before? Or I do not know what is going on with that. Bajan says just following you on Insta and sent you the link in your DM. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have a look at it offline, but I'm not familiar with that source at all. I need to kind of review and see if they seem credible. Because with some of these, I don't know if it's an AI thing, but some of these random YouTube channels just post anything. So I'm like, I will go and have a look like later on, and then if I feel like it's credible, then yeah, we can come back and talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, thanks girl for sending it over to me. Okay, so that is all about the Andy of it all. I personally don't think, like, what else do you expect the man to say? That's just where I stand with it. It was also, guess who was spotted? Let me show you all this. It's Karen, but it also doesn't necessarily, it looks a little bit like Karen, but then it also looks to me like Ashley, like an older Ashley. But I think it's the wig. I think that wig ain't good. Karen needs to get rid of the wig. And I understand, if you're not on TV, you probably don't feel like you need the glam squad, but I'm gonna need you to bring the glam squad back, Henny, because that wig ain't it. That wig does not look good. Like, we need to do something about that wig. So yeah, I personally don't think I don't think I don't think yeah, I personally don't think that wig is a look, but she was spotted out apparently, or allegedly. She was spotted out at a bar. Now, this person does put that little looking emoji thing, but what is not very clear is like, honey, she is eating. So you saying at a bar, was she drinking? Was she not? Like, it kind of insinuates something, especially with that looking emoji. And I'm just like, the lady was eating. Just leave the lady alone. Oh my God, Tommy is not serious. Tommy said she looks wasted, allegedly. Oh my God. I don't know if she looks wasted. I think the hair just makes it worse, right? Like, because Karen kind of, if you look at her eyes, I don't think her eyes, ooh, Now I'm thinking, should I go find that DUI video and compare it? I don't know. I wouldn't have thought she was, I just think she's eaten. She's eaten, but I feel like this person definitely shading her with the bar and the looking emoji thing. Because I'm like, when you saw her at the bar, was everything good? Was everything good? Yeah. So it's a little odd to me. But that wig gotta go, Karen. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.